everyone. So this is a video on posture, what David Garrigues would call the single position. The single position is a reference datum of your own inner skeletal lines, energy lines, fascia lines, to find the most optimal geometric shape that is structurally sound, and furthermore contemplating this shape within you and these gesturing motions, these internal soft subtle actions of the mind and body and energy, induces a kind of contemplative state in which you can find meditation in your posture practice while healing the vehicle of your breath. That's right, this body is the vehicle for your breath. That's its purpose. Its purpose is to breathe. On so many levels, but we don't need to go into that right now. It's a universal principle, let's call it. And anyway, let's go into the single position. My head will be slightly cut off here because this is a cliff. I don't want to go further back, and I don't want to put the camera further back. Let's see if I can straighten it. There's all kinds of rocks in the way. It's not able to be reorganized, this cave. It's not like your living room, you know. Okay, so we start with the feet. Start with hip width. Be honest with yourself of what is hip width. That's why a mirror or a camera is useful. We're trying to find yantra lines. Now you got to understand we all have imperfections. For example, my knees face forward, but maybe my feet don't face directly forward because this bone is rotated relative to this bone. It's a posture thing. We don't need to get into why exactly. What's most important is your kneecaps face forward. And gesture is an action. So the feet seem stationary, but we action with the feet. Let the word foot or feet be a verb. It's the action of getting footing, or footing into the ground with the heel and the ball. And now imagine a horizontal plane at the base of your knees and a horizontal plane at the base of your shins. And there's a video camera looking up, or a spotlight looking up the shin bone, looking up the thigh bone to the floor of your pelvis, also being a horizontal plane, looking up to the top of your hip, a horizontal plane, looking up. So now you start to feel alignment between the bottom of the shin and the top of the hips. So that already gets you to posterior tuck the pelvis. I'll show you from the side. Knees face forward. Mirror looking up from the top of the ankle, from the top of the shin to the bottom of the pelvis and the top of the pelvis. And then we find, so this is without those, and this is with those references. And then the floating rib. That plane looks upward to the well, I can't really go higher without showing you know, because of the way the camera is set up right now. Maybe I'll try in a different setting. But the main thing to realize here is gesturing with the entire leg. Anywhere there is a limb coming off of the body, your toes can gesture, your feet can gesture, your thighs can gesture, and this can clarify the spine. How? Ask yourself, how are my legs clarifying my spine? Notice how this brings your awareness to how are my legs clarifying my spine. Bring your awareness to where your legs meet your spine. And how are your legs clarifying your spine? And this sort of awareness and posture is really good for any kind of motion, locomotion, doing your yoga practice, anything that can be mindful. It's very healthy for your hips to contemplate, how are my legs clarifying my spine? It's very good for posture imbalances, hips that are tilted to the side, or forward and back, or in a figure 8 pattern. You see now what David calls the spotlights. I like to think of them as mirrors or windows, because the mirror will very clearly reflect an image in an opposite direction. We want to reflect them all in a line. The mirror of the talus, which is the top of the ankle, the tibial plateau, which is the top of the shin bone, the pelvic floor, the rim of the pelvis. And if you can get those 4, and I gave you a 5th one, but if you can get those 4, I'll tell you the top 4. And then we can combine all 8 into a single principle that will turn any posture and any physical action, especially in yoga asana, into a meditation of the yantra, the shape of your posture line. You could say of nadis, but let's not get into that right now. Alright? So I hope this is helpful for any of you with hip discomfort or looking to just fall deeper into your yoga practice now. Peace. Namaste.